Your art is a responsibility to others and to society. You might think, what in the world does that mean? And how could I make such a statement with any validity whatsoever? But I am an artist, and I do support myself financially through creative endeavors, so I'll share with you what I mean and why I'm saying that. Your art is a responsibility to others and to society. It always has been, and it always will be. Very unfortunately, although it's something that we can easily change, people that are creative, and particularly people that would call themselves artists, those people have been told that their art is something that has to be a hobby, something to do on the sidelines, and surely not something that can support them financially. I offer to you that we have that all wrong. As a people group, we surely have that all wrong about art, artists, and the purpose for them. Why would God create artists? Or if you don't believe in God, why would you be an artist if the only purpose was to fail financially, to not be able to support yourself, or to not really even be able to pursue your art? It's all wrong. We're looking at it all wrong. Let me share with you why. Your art is a responsibility to others and to society because your art is a vehicle for change. What art can do, nothing else can. Think about it for a moment. Just for a moment, think about a few of your favorite songs. I'm sure they'll come to you very quickly. How much do those songs mean to you? How is it that when you hear them, it completely changes how you feel and what you're thinking? That, my friends, is the power of art. Now, you might argue with me and say, okay, that's music, but I don't create music. I create paintings, or I make jewelry, or I'm an actress. Well, regardless of the art form, the reason behind the impetus, the purpose for art is to create. And when you create, change naturally evolves. Art is a positive power, and we are supposed to be using it to better the world, to help others, to change society, to change, I might say, even truly the trajectory of this entire world. You have the ability within you to take your art and to utilize it to make changes, as I say so often, in your community, in your family, with other artists, and in the world. This is very practical, but we have to change how we look at our art. I read an article about a month ago. It was about people in Vermont being homeless. As I read that article, of course, I felt terrible for the people and what they were going through. These were people that lived in Vermont where the weather is cold much of the year, and there was a program that was providing temporary housing for these people, and the program was being cut. That left people literally, factually, without a place to live. And as I read the article, I thought, this is so unnecessary. It's wrong, it's cruel, but on a logical level, it's completely unnecessary. Now you might think, what in the world does this have to do with art? So now I'll tell you what. What I thought as I read the article is, I grew up not far from Vermont, and there are a lot of artists in Vermont, Connecticut, and obviously in New York. And I thought how easy it would be for artists to gather together, even just in that area of Vermont, set up their wares, sell their services, and donate a portion to those people so that they all have a place to live. Problem solved. Just like that, problem solved. There is no inhibiting factor, nothing that legally stops a group of artists from doing that. Let's actually walk through this. So it's Vermont. The people are about to lose their vouchers. They don't have a place to live. Artists within, say, 3 or 4 communities within the reach of that area set up a market. They set it up every Sunday for 4 weeks, and they donate 40% of every service and every piece of art that's sold at those events. They donate it to a fund, and that fund does one thing: provides housing for these people. There you go. Problem solved. Without any reliance on a system or vouchers or anything of that sort. And I'm not saying that vouchers and things of that sort don't have their place. I have an undergrad degree in mental health counseling, so I surely know a lot about helping people in difficult situations. But the point and fact is that you and I, as artists, as creators, have a responsibility to society and to other people to use our art, to utilize our art every day of our lives as a vehicle to create change in this world. So you might think that's totally impractical. That would not work. Well, I'm the queen of what won't work will work, because I'm stubborn and I know that people are so much more than they believe they are. And if you can just get artists and creative people to take a little bit of a risk, just a little bit of movement, great changes can come about. So here are the people in Vermont without a place to live. And then these artists gather together, and these artists become heroes of those communities. And they are heroes because they help fellow citizens to have a roof over their head when they would not have otherwise. If you pause for a moment, I'm sure you can think of probably endless people, animals, nature that you want to help. And I really, really need to bring up this point, which is we as artists have this way of saying within ourselves and commiserating among one another, if we are honest. What we say within ourselves and to one another is, well, I just can't get a grant, and I can't get my work in that museum, and my work would never sell in a gallery, and I'm not good enough, and nobody's going to buy my work. Pause. Please pause. You wouldn't say that to someone else. Why in the world are you saying it to yourself or among your other creative friends? You know, sometimes the only answer is stop and change. That's it. That's simple. Take a different direction. Take a different posture. Do something you wouldn't otherwise do. And if my voice, which is not my intention, is coming across as harsh, it's not harsh, it's passionate. I've seen this all my life. I grew up in the greater New York City area among all of that competitiveness, being competitive with oneself, being set and pit against others. I started out in fashion design, and wow, I do not have blonde hair and blue eyes. P.S. Bless all of you that do. It's very pretty. But I'm not one of those women that has blonde hair and blue eyes, and I could not compete in the system that was set up as fashion design. But that didn't stop me. It just meant I took a different route to what I needed to do with my creativity. And I might add, I'm not done, and neither are you. If you are still here on this planet, then your art has a purpose. And the purpose is, I can tell you with definitiveness, with positivity, with assuredness, this is why you need to create your art. Pause, breathe, and here it comes. You have to create your art because society needs help and people need help, and you are in a position as an artist to change the world. Let's get down to something that's very practical. How are you going to do this? I've shared it in other podcast episodes, and I'm always here to help for anyone that wants to contact me. But it's very simple. You don't need me to do this. What you need is make a change. Decide to make a change. That's all. Look for someone or something that you want to help and promise yourself, promise yourself that you're going to pursue your art, not for yourself, which of course it is for you also, not for money, which of course it will bring money and should and needs to and will, but you are going to create a change by pursuing your art, because you will pick one person, one animal, one environmental situation, and you will decide that you're going to create your art because you're donating a portion to help whatever that is that you've chosen. And here's how you go about doing it. Write it down, hang it up somewhere where you'll see it. In your bathroom, your bedroom closet, on your refrigerator. Write this. Get a piece of paper. Get something to write with. Please, I do this myself. And write, I, and then your name, promise that today and every day I will take action with my art to help, and then fill in the blank. Is it there's a dog down the street that wanders around and you know they need a good home and you could take them in, but you don't have the money? That's your reason. Is there an elderly person that you see all the time at Dollar General that's counting their change, and you want to be the one to give them a bank card that they can just withdraw money from, or a debit card that they can just use that you can refill for them so they can get their groceries more easily? Think about it. There are endless things that pull on your heart every day. I know there are. I really know there are. How could I say such a thing? Sounds maybe a little grandiose or conceited on my part. It's not. This is why. Artists are sensitive souls, right? Are we not? We cry easily. We feel what other people feel. And so there are a lot of people, of animals, of environmental situations that you want to change. And looping back around to the beginning of today's episode, your art is what? It is a responsibility to others, to society, to create change where no one else can. I hope that this message inspired you. I pray that you take action. Write out that note tonight. Don't let yourself fall asleep until you do so. Write out, I, in my case, I would say I, Peshah, promise to work on my art every single day and donate 40% to the elderly woman I see at Dollar General struggling every week to pay for her groceries. Write it out, put a date on it. Every day, put a check mark on that. Did you work on your art, or did you cave into the I can't do this? My friends, everyone has a long list of I can't do this, but you can. And the reason I know you can is because I can, and I'm not any different than you are. I love you. Thanks for listening.